Hey, hello everybody. Howdy do. It's Rob at Old Style Classics Baseball Cards coming back at you with another quick episode. I've been on my oddball run. Today I did my Lou Gehrig. I released my Big League Chew one. I got my Lou Gehrig ALS Foundation card set. Then I just did the Drakes because I didn't have a whole lot of Drakes. And now I'm going to move on to this little group of cards. Now, I assumed that these were oddball um, in the sense like your typical oddballs that you would pick up like out of a packaging, like these Drake's cards, where you got 3 baseball cards in there or on there. I assumed that this is what these were, but I looked them up, and I would say that they're not your standard oddball card like that. They're oddball adjacent once again. Um, so like I showed you, I talked about like when you do KB or like Woolworth or those kind of cards, they're kind of oddball-ish because they're trying to get you into their store to buy that product that's specific to that store. And then you got like the Flair Great sets and those kind of things, which you can only get, you get at retail places, but they're not specific to any store. But they're not a mainstream set like you would get in packs or hobby boxes where you got random cards that you had to put together the set. It was just buying a set of cards. So that's oddball adjacent. And then you have kind of not straight up oddball, but like a non-mainstream card company, which is actually a product company, much like Topps was a chewing gum company, but they're not mainstream cards in the sense that they weren't available all around the country. They were kind of regional, but you could get them in packs. So they're not quite up to the level that I would say is a mainstream set of cards, but they're not really oddball, but they're kind of made by an oddball company that you would think that they would just be oddball cards. So they're just a tick below regular cards, in my opinion. But you could say that they're a regular set. But I would argue that they're not because I never seen these until I picked them up out of random box, like bargain boxes or whatever. And that is because this is, and like I said, I think that they were distributed through packs. I think I've seen the pictures online, but it is not a major company that, in the sense that they are around the country, and so it's interesting. So from the Philadelphia Chewing Gum Corp, which I don't think they put gum in their cards because Topps already won that battle when it came to Flair and Dunross. So you know where I'm going with this if you're a baseball card collector. And these are not a whole lot. This is 1990 Impel Marketing Inc. Printed in the USA, but logos were paid for. And that is Philadelphia Gum Company Swell. So Swell, I don't know if that's just the gum company or, like a gas station, kind of like a 7-Eleven or Circle K that we have out west. Is that something that it's like maybe a, like a 7-Eleven printed their own cards and put them in actual wax packs and then only sold them at 7-Eleven or something. I don't know. If anyone knows about this stuff, please let me know because the information I have online is a little limited. But anyways, it's not like they just had East Coast players, kind of like a lot of those what other ones that we just recently looked at. Like the Drakes seem to be all East Coast teams, the ones that we saw. But anyways, there you go, Steve Garvey for the Dodgers. I've talked about Steve Garvey multiple times in my middle school PE coach John Wood said he was cousins with Steve Garvey, and I have no reason not to believe him. But that'd be interesting to hear Steve Garvey say, "Oh yeah, he's my buddy," or something like that. So anyways, let's see if we can get this to focus here, folks. So you can take a look at these cards. And like I said, just like the Drake's cards, I've never seen these except at like bargain boxes and stuff like that. So I'm obviously grew up in the West, and we did not have this stuff. So Swell, if anyone knows what that's all about, it's like I have a cons card that I want to show, but I'm going to have to do that in one of those random oddball cards because I only have one. And I know that those are Hot Dog Company, but I believe those come from team sets like they do the Reds and like Mets. So if anyone knows about these Swell sets, let me know. That'd be nice. So still having some focus problems here, people. It's a little annoying. Alright, let's see if we can get that small print to show up. Doesn't like that penny sleeve, I guess. Or me. This is taking way too long. Alright, there you go. Philadelphia Chewing Gum Corp. 1990 MPEL Marketing, printed in the USA. So there you go, Steve Garvey. Then next, so they obviously had players from different eras and stuff like that. That was card number 32. So it is a bigger set. I think it's like a 120 card set, something like that, because they did come in like wax packs. I just don't know how they were distributed. Like, where could you buy these? Could you buy these at any store that they can get to sell cards? Or, like I said, is Swell a specific store? And if it is, and that's the only place you can get them, that would push it more towards the oddball, more mainstream oddball, instead of an actual just odd company set. You know, kind of like those Pacific cards of the Hall of Famers and stuff. But anyways, there you go. Wow, Bobby Thomson played for my Cubbies. Who knew? 58 and 59. So the shot heard around the world, Bobby Thomson. Annoying that those cards kind of backwards, but there you go. Him on the Giants, of course. And that would be the New York Giants. Look at that old glove. Pretty nice. Guess starting to lose my voice, folks. Another Hall of Famer. Tom Seaver. They're okay looking cards. I mean, they're kind of, they fit the era. I mean, yeah, I guess the real like hardcore 90s look, it didn't start still for another couple years. So these kind of still have that 80s oddball feel to them. Or like those little box set kind of feel, like a KB set or Kmart or something like that. But it's not done by Topps. Impel, apparently. So Swell Greats, Tom Seaver, Hall of Famer. Sure, these cards are 50 cents, $1. So that is that set. And now we are going to jump up. Well, this is interesting because Baseball Greats and this one is also Baseball Greats in 1990. So that is interesting. Huh. But it looks like maybe they had a different printer do these cards for them. So maybe they did another set, 2 different printers. So I'm going to start with that. And then there's Steve Garvey. Now the reason I have some confusion here is because they're both 1990. You can see Swell. I kind of like this design a little better. So the 1990 Swell Baseball Greats, though, same thing. but it says CMC instead of Impel printing. So yeah, if anyone knows about these swell cards, it would sure be swell if you told me. Leave a comment. It would sure be swell if everyone would like, subscribe, and leave comments, especially if you know anything about this stuff. But that's neat. You know, I like to have any oddball-ish, not your standard mainstream flagship kind of sets of the era. And I don't think Swell ever got to the point where they were something like a new competitor like Score or Upper Deck or Pinnacle or anything like that. They seem very regional. Maybe they were trying, and maybe they ran 2 sets that summer or whatever. So anyways, there you go, card 103 for the CMC version instead of Impel, the blue backs. So baseball great Steve Garvey. That's really interesting. And then of course my main man from the past, my no debating who is the greatest player in baseball, other than you can argue for Babe Ruth or Ty Cobb, in my opinion. Two both different kind of players. Probably in reality Babe Ruth, just because he could do everything, but Ty Cobb could probably do everything, just didn't do everything he did. He was old. So dead ball era Ty Cobb, live ball era Babe Ruth. Even though there is some crossover there, it's that kind of changing of style of play. But anyways, my favorite player from the past, Ty Cobb. From the dead ball era, you know, you got to go with like Ty Cobb, Hannes Wagner, Cap Anson. Then of course you can make arguments for a lot of other guys who are really great, and then some great pitchers, you know, the Cy Youngs of the world. But anyways, there we go. That's a cool image of Ty Cobb, not one that you normally see. Baseball greats, Mr. Ty Cobb, card 15, with his 4,191 at bats, 724 doubles, nearly 300 triples, 118 home runs, even though he was in the dead ball era. So that's actually a lot for a dead ball guy. And he proved that he could hit home runs when he wanted to. There's that story of him hitting 3 in one day, like he said he was going to do it, and he did it. 1,961 RBIs and all those runs, and a lifetime batting average of 367, which was always the major league record until it was dropped down to second because they added Josh Gibson in there. Hang on, the Cubs highlights are on. We finally beat the Giants today. Alright folks, thank you. Cubs finally beat the Giants. Should have went to that game, but had to work. But anyways, there's my man Ty Cobb. So maybe we'll see this card again when I definitely got a Ty Cobb episode coming down the pipeline at some point in time. Maybe a few. But the great Ty Cobb, and one of the greatest baseball players of all time, may not be one of the greatest people of all time, but baseball wise, you know, the great, the GOAT. So very few players can be called a GOAT, or one of the best, and he's one of them. And well, guess what folks, that's it. That's all I have for swells. So you know as much as I do, other than what I can see online, just pictures of these sets. I don't know who else is in the sets. I don't think my man Dawson's in any of them, because I didn't see one when I look around a lot. So there we go. Decent cards. Card stocks is fine. Little couple black and white images there, some classic players, somewhat modern players. There you go. Alright everybody, hope you enjoyed that short episode for me. Please like, subscribe, leave messages. Please tell me if you know anything about this stuff. Thank you for all the people commenting. Martha and Diver Dave and all you folks. And I think we got up to 118 subscribers. So let me see here. Yeah, 118 subscribers. And I believe one of them did actually show who they were. So let me see if I can see this real quick. I just want to shout them out. Alright. Vintage Sanctuary. Vintage Card Steve. Oh, M in Yankees 42. The Floyd fan case. The Black Cowboy. So those are the ones that have showed who they are. So I like what I see. It was really swell of you folks to subscribe to Old Style Classics baseball cards, and golly gee, thank you. All right, everybody, bye.